Good day everyone. I am very pleased to be part of the Hospitality Industry Forum on cruise industry and share my knowledge regarding what it is like working in the cruise ship industry before and after the pandemic. I would like to acknowledge all the members of Class 3 HHL1 Senior Productions for organizing this event, and of course, the people who are guiding them towards achieving their goals. To Ms. Sharon BC, Overall Chairperson, to Sir Gualberto D. Valmonte, Head, Secretary Committee, to Ms. Justin Ann Micaela Caton, Head, Program Committee, to Ms. Maria Margarita P. Cruz, Course Facilitator, to Mr. Juanito Luis S. Reyes, the Program Chair, and the Dean of College of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Attorney Jesus GC G. Granado. Let me introduce myself quickly before I continue with my assigned topics to be covered. My name is Darwin B. Galang, licensed captain, and currently employed as first officer in a one-of-a-kind residential ship, the World. I started my career in 1999 as deck cadet on board cargo ships. From there, I was promoted second officer until an opportunity to work on a passenger ship was offered to me in 2005. From 2005 to 2014, I was able to perform different tasks from being a second officer to safety officer, and then eventually as a reliever chief officer in Fred Olsen Cruise Lines. In the last quarter of 2014, I decided to temporarily stop and accepted a teaching job in Baliwag Maritime Academy, which is my alma mater. On May 2015, the opportunity to work on board the World was offered to me with the position as first officer and was eventually promoted as First Officer Safety. As an employee of the World, we strive for excellence in everything we do. We are always passionate and caring, and we support one another in mutual respect. We believe in our mission and drive for continuous improvement by challenging each other to be better and by measuring and benchmarking against the best. We take ownership and hold ourselves accountable. We have a unified, empowered, and strong team culture that values diversity and recognizes, develops, and retains talent. As a first officer safety, my duties include but not limited to the following. I am a watchkeeping officer, making sure that the ship safely and efficiently navigate from one port into another. Eight hours of my 10 hours work every day is for navigation. So imagine the pressure and responsibility on my shoulder on keeping the passengers and crew, the ship, and the environment safe. As the bridge is the central command, I must be ready all the time to respond to emergency calls in order to act safely and efficiently attend to the emergency such as fire, collision, or grounding. I need to make sure that all navigational instruments are working and properly utilized, such as the radar, ECDIS, GPS, and other instruments. I must keep a good watch in order to make sure I can act on time to prevent collision. All officers and crew will have to see me for their assigned safety duties, and I will update the system for joining crew. This is where I am checking if all the certification of joiners are valid and that they hold the original copies. I am also the designated safety training officer. I train all crew members, including the captain and other officers, to understand their emergency duties in order to respond efficiently and safely in case of an emergency. The trainings I conducted are as follows: the pre-departure safety training, training for the use of lifeboats and life rafts, training newly hired crew members with their new emergency duties, training for the galley teams and housekeeping team, personally trained crew members that change safety duties. This is to make sure that they really understand their new duties, and other duties pertaining to safety courses. I conduct the weekly and monthly life-saving appliance inspection and training as per SOLAS, and maintaining all life-saving equipment according to AMOS, ready to be used in case of emergency. I also update all safety training plans and import manning list. I keep the SOLAS training manual and the safety booklet up to date. I need to be well acquainted with the operation of both rescue boats, including but is not limited to launching, recovering, maneuvering, as well as a full understanding of SAR or the search and rescue operations. These are some of the responsibilities that I need to perform while on board the ship. Working as a first officer safety is a huge responsibility. I am in charge of the safety training, and I need to make sure that all crew members can perform their duties in case of emergency. The inspection and maintenance of life-saving appliances such as the lifeboats and the life raft is also my responsibility. I need to make sure that they are always on top shape and is ready for use in case of emergency. So the bridge is manned 24/7 and it is divided equally to the bridge officers, to 3 bridge officers. Usually we have 1 bridge officer and 1 lookout in one schedule. However, depending on the situation like heavy traffic, reduced visibility, bad weather, or during arrival or departure, then we will increase the number of people in the bridge, including the captain and the staff captain. We receive numbers of calls that usually involve reporting malfunctioning equipment, asking for weather forecast, reporting of work completion like welding or hot work, enclosed space work or entering the tanks, working aloft, and other maintenance that has been done. So basically, para kaming call center also, because all of the calls must, any activities on board, we have to know it, and before they start and when they finish, after they finish, we need to know so that we will know that or anything that happened in that area will be, we can send someone to check because there's no more people working there. And then also, as we have most of the equipments here, all the alarms, we have the detectors, we have the CCTVs. So as a bridge officer, we need to maintain and always check these particular equipments. When the ship is at anchor, we need to monitor our position to check if we are dragging and avoid grounding to shallow waters. We also need to make sure that the tendering operation runs smoothly so that both the passengers and the crew can safely proceed to the port and back to the ship. So at anchor, we are lowering our tender boats. So that is also our lifeboats so that we can service them back and forth. If we are alongside, we need to make sure that all the mooring ropes are equally tight and rat guards are in place. Additionally, we need to check that the gangway are properly secured so that using it, the residents, as we call them, residents and guests, and the crew members can use it going down to the pier safely. We also need to monitor, as I mentioned, any changes in weather condition, waves and current that can affect the position of the ship. When the pandemic started last March, so most of the ships were on layup. So layup is where the ship is temporarily idle due to lack of cargo or which are temporarily phased out of commercial operations. So no passengers, no operation. So we call it layup. So layup is divided into two, that is warm layup and cold layup. So cold layup is just keeping very few crew members, and then to keep the equipments, some of the equipments running, they need to get power from shore side. On our case, when we were on layup, we were on warm layup, wherein key roles from the deck and engine department was on board to monitor the equipments. As mentioned, we were on layup and our crew were reduced from 300 to 72, and routine maintenance were reduced while essential machinery were kept in operation. At this time, the bridge operation is on another system where from 3 officers, there were only 2, so thereby the 24 hours was divided into 2, so each officer must be on duty for 12 hours. The cruise industry plays an innovative and important role in the world economy as well as many local economies. At the beginning of 2020, the ocean cruises was one of the fastest growing sectors of the travel industry. No less than 55 cruise ship companies operate 278 ocean cruise line ships, with another ship lined up to be in service this year. This industry has also made large contributions to different communities and stakeholders around the world. The shutdown of the cruise industry due to COVID-19 affects every country where it plays an important role. Before this worldwide pandemic crisis, all ship information was available 3 years in advance. This included its future location, itineraries, rates, and even onboard menus were planned. During the pandemic, as borders are closing and ports around the world have different requirements to comply with, the industry is having a hard time to plan in advance, making the itinerary choices smaller. The crisis put down the industry into its knees, and only few ships were able to operate with a very strict health protocol. In order to survive, major trends that will shape the industry over the next decade include environmental sustainability. The industry is investing heavily in waste reduction with innovative cutting-edge environmental technology, such as the use of liquefied natural gas, exhaust gas cleaning, advanced water treatment systems, and shoreside electricity. Responsible tourism. Cruise lines are working with local communities to find the best way to manage the flow of passengers visiting each port of call to protect the culture, the environment, the unique heritage, and landscape of destinations visited. Catering to single cruisers. Sales strategies are now much more sensitive to the needs of solo cruisers. Theme cruises, alternative destinations, and duration of cruises. The continued growth of luxury expedition cruising, alternative destinations such as private islands and marine reserves, and the growing number of 2 and 3 day micro cruises. New onboard IT digital experience. The growing interest of millennials and Generation Z in cruises, which will become the largest consumer generation, is driving the upgrade of internet connectivity on board. New, innovative onboard concept venues and accommodation. Cruise passengers are increasingly looking for a sense of privacy, different service experiences, and entertainment. Last but not the least, the mandatory adoption of COVID-19 related measures to ensure a safe and healthy onboard environment for all passengers and crew members. Cruise industry protocols are unique in their approach to effectively monitor, detect, and respond to potential cases of COVID-19. The relatively rare instances of COVID-19 that have occurred since operations resumed have been addressed swiftly based upon pre-arranged response plans on board every Cruise Line Industry Authority ocean-going member cruise ship. Cruise industry COVID-19 protocols incorporate testing, vaccination, screening, sanitation, enhanced ventilation, mask wearing, physical distancing, and other proven health measures that are facilitating a responsible return to sailing. The resumption of cruise tourism around the world is putting ships back in the water and, as a result, helping to contribute to the global economy recovery from the pandemic. The Cruise Line Industry Authority projects that the industry will reactivate 100% of global capacity by mid-2022. Nothing can stop the cruise industry from thriving, and it will continue to grow as the market is in demand worldwide. So I am encouraging everyone to become a part of the cruise industry and see the world for free. I hope one day I can work with some of you. Thank you very much, and God bless us all.